Police believe they have found his body miles from his home, and they say they believe it's been there this whole time. Aisha, Consumers Energy just arrived a few minutes ago. The reason why they're here is because one of those homes has a gas leak. They pushed everyone back to try to work the scene. GM also announced another recall this week, bringing the total number of cars being recalled to more than 6 million in 2 months. It's been nearly 2 years since Jaden passed, and his story continues to inspire people to pay it forward in a big way. We are learning more about the suspect who investigators believe opened fire at LAX airport Friday morning. More than 4,000 missing person cases in the state of Michigan. And while the circumstances surrounding each individual case may be different.
Hi, Cheri. Look at you.
You know, if you're going to have to spend the day outside, you might as well take advantage of it like these kids are and spend the day by the pool. It seemed like the entire community showed up tonight, still in shock that one of their own is gone. Members of the Corunna High School football team took to the field tonight, not to the sounds of the cheering crowd, but to the silence of an entire community grieving. They were there to honor Shane Cantu, a former football player and 2010 graduate who was killed in Afghanistan on Tuesday.
You know, just seeing everybody lined out on this football field with all their candles, it truly showed how many people he actually really did inspire. So it was just amazing, and our whole community came together, and that was really special. Jillian Cruz is a senior at Corunna High School. She says Shane was well known at the school. It really wrap your mind around it. Like, you know, it's somebody that walked through the same hallways as I did. So, and they're gone, and you know, it's just hard to accept.
It's just hard because you live in such a small town and you don't really think anyone's going to go. So it's just kind of tough losing a classmate.
Just 20 years old, Private Cantu was just a few weeks into his first tour of duty when he was killed.
Yes, I have children about that age. It's very sad. I can't even imagine. My son's getting married next weekend. I can't even imagine this heartache when I'm experiencing the joy of my life that I'm experiencing.
The community circled around the football field where Cantu excelled, lighting candles in his memory.
He was only there for a month and this happened, and then people come back from a career in the Army, you know, and they're perfectly fine, and it just makes you wonder, you know, why him? I guess maybe God wants good people in heaven, so he picked Shane.
And I asked the principal what he would remember most about Shane. He said his toughness on the football field and his smile. Reporting live in Flint, Cheri Hardmon, WNEM TV5.
All right, Cheri.
Police believe they have found his body miles from his home, and they say they believe it's been there this whole time. For nearly 2 weeks, Bill Stroop says he watched as police searched for something near his home in Montrose Township.
We thought there might have been some drugs or something that got stashed.
He says he never imagined it was a body they were looking for.
It's just a terrible thing. You know, that people would do that. It's bad enough that they would kill somebody, but then to try to hide the body somewhere.
Police believe the body found just down the road from Stroop's home is that of 55-year-old Patrick Mike Sr. of Troy. Mike Sr. had been missing for 2 weeks. His body was found on the edge of a cornfield near a tractor Ed Polson said he had recently used.
Pretty crazy because I guess a few days before I was working ground over there, and apparently the body was right there, and I parked the tractor right next to the body, so I had no idea.
Perhaps even more shocking, police believe Mike Sr.'s body was put there by his own son, Patrick Mikes Jr. Police say witnesses in the area have identified the car that belongs to Mike Jr. Polson says strange cars are not uncommon in this area.
I mean, it's nothing unusual to see somebody parked at a field around this time of the year because you're usually out trying to find a good spot to go deer hunting or whatever.
21-year-old Patrick Mikes Jr. was arraigned Thursday on open murder charges in connection to his father's disappearance.
Really a sad thing to me, you know, that his own son is accused of the crime, but it's just an indication of the way we live today.
Police believe that Troy man was not killed in Montrose Township, and they say they believe they have the right person in custody. Reporting live in Genesee County, Cheri Hardmon, WNEM TV5.
Mirrors coming back all over again. They thought this nightmare was behind them, but this real-life horror story started all over again when a Saginaw County Circuit judge agreed to a new trial for this man, Logan Gaines.
Why are we doing this again?
Tonight, 2 young girls, along with their mothers, are speaking out for the first time, outraged over the possibility of Gaines being released from prison. The man, they say, sexually assaulted them, changing their lives forever.
12 jurors convicted him guilty, and now less than a year served. Now he is going to be out on bond, pending a new trial.
I don't think any of us want to go through this again, and we shouldn't have to.
Gaines was convicted early last year of 4 counts of criminal sexual conduct against teens ages 13 through 15. The abuse started in 2009 when Gaines was a 19-year-old senior at Birch Run High School. He was sentenced to serve 4 to 15 years. Now, 2 girls who testified as victims come forward to tell their story. They were joined by their mothers. We concealed their identities and will be calling them Lisa and Kelly. Lisa says she met Gaines through social networking. She was just 13 years old at the time.
He saw me cheering at a game, and then he added me on Facebook. So that's how he got contact with me.
Kelly says she met him while he was a volunteer for the track team.
Stop doing track. I mean, it's hard. Like, I did it my freshman and sophomore year, and then all this stuff starts happening. I quit track because I didn't want to go through all that again.
Now Gaines is heading back to court, and we headed to Saginaw County Circuit Court to find out why. We discovered 2 pages of documents that said a new trial was granted on February 4th by Circuit Court Judge Janet Bowes. Just 2 pages with nothing in it to explain the justification for a fresh trial. The documents were signed by defense attorney John Royal, who now represents Gaines, and by prosecutor John McColgan, who took office in January. The judge would not comment, citing the pending nature of the case. Our next stop was to the prosecutor's office.
You don't want to talk to us about why Mr. Gaines is getting a new trial?
I'll talk to you, but not on TV.
Okay.
Prosecutor John McColgan would not give us an on-camera interview, but off-camera he said a number of things contributed to his decision not to fight the new trial. While reopening the case, he says he found issues that he insists would have led to the reversal of the conviction on appeal. He also says the consensus among those involved in the case is that the sentence given Gaines was not appropriate. The girls' family members say they were told the legal defense Gaines received during the trial might have been problematic. He was represented by Saginaw Township attorney James Brisboe. He also declined comment for our story.
They got what they wanted. They got that jury trial. They just weren't happy with the outcome because they thought he was going to be found innocent. Well, you know what? You wanted it. You got it. Pay your price then.
Meantime, back to the girls. They say the possibility of Gaines being back on the street is terrifying.
He can come to where I'm at, and that scares me that he could be in the same town as me or anything. It really scares me because, I mean, I go to school where his mom works. So what's to say that I'm not walking in the hallway and, oh, there he is.
A bond hearing is scheduled here at the courthouse for Monday morning to determine whether or not Logan Gaines is released pending a new trial. The prosecutor says there will be strict guidelines in place if that happens. In the meantime, the family say they don't relish the idea of a new trial, but
I feel sorry for the girls. Nobody should have to go through it again, but if it means him being found guilty again, and this time hopefully staying where he is, then I'm for it because he deserves whatever happens to him.
With this I-Team report, Cheri Hardmon, WNEM, TV5.
The nightmares coming back all over again.
I'm doing okay out here, Carrie. Actually, it's not too bad out here. The sun is out, but that wasn't the case earlier today in the cooler temps, keeping folks away. It's a bit lonely for Delmar Lee at the Splash Park in Saginaw this afternoon.
I've been here since 9 o'clock this morning.
And not a single soul has shown up.
Nobody at all.
The cooler temps have kept visitors away on what would normally be a hot July day.
Yesterday, it was quite a few people here. We had way more than we had today.
Which is no one today.
Temps are only expected to be in the mid-60s today, about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than it normally is this time of year.
Attendance is a little down compared to what we would be expecting.
Robin Carey works at the Children's Zoo in Saginaw. She says Tuesday is usually one of their busiest days for visitors, but not today.
We do have a discounted admission day on Tuesday, so usually we have quite a bit of attendance. And with the clouds and everything, it is a little bit down, but it's not a ghost town or anything.
In fact, Robin says visiting the zoo on a day like today might actually be more enjoyable.
Absolutely, being slightly overcast and cooler is actually a better day to visit the zoo than being warm and 75 and sunny, because the animals get warm and they want to hang out in the shade and be lazy on a warm day just like you do. So if you come on a cooler day like this, you're more apt to see the animals being active and engaging.
Back to Delmar at the splash park. He says he's not too optimistic about his day picking up.
It's too cold.
It's too cold. But you know what? Not everybody is unhappy about the cold today. Some people are actually enjoying it. Coming up, we'll hear from them. New overnight, a suspicious fire rips through a home at the corner of Fordney and Cambry in Saginaw. Firefighters rushed to the scene just a little after 11 p.m. When crews arrived, the house was engulfed in flames. Luckily, no one was in the home at the time of the fire. Police say they need your help tracking down the person responsible.
Also, this structure fire appears to be suspicious at this time. We can't rule out arson as the cause. And please be advised that there is a reward for any information leading to the arrest of anyone that's committing arson in this community and the city of Saginaw.
Officials say the home was vacant. If you have any information on the fire, call 911. And police are asking for your help to find two suspects in a pair of robberies. On Friday, a man broke into the Royal Liquor Store on Center Road in Flint Township. These surveillance images show him inside the store. He got away in a red Chevy Monte Carlo driven by a second suspect. And there was another break-in, this time at the One Stop food store on Fenton Road in Flint. 4 people broke into that store and then into the ATM. They fled in a stolen pickup, which was since recovered. If you have any information on either of these crimes, call Flint Police or Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-SPEAK-UP. One person is dead this morning after a Michigan State Police cruiser struck a car during a chase. It happened around 4:30 Thursday on Pearson Road in Flint. This all started when police attempted to make a traffic stop, but the driver fled. While in pursuit, the cruiser crashed into another vehicle, killing one person and injuring 2 others. One man we spoke to says the cars involved in the chase were going very fast.
Because anybody could walk out, could walk out in the street, because you're not expecting anybody coming down through here running that fast.
The trooper involved in the crash was treated for minor injuries. General Motors CEO is preparing to go before lawmakers again. The U.S. Senate subcommittee that's investigating GM's ignition switch recalls plans to hold a second hearing next week. A spokesman for GM says Mary Barr looks forward to updating senators about the changes the company has made to keep drivers safe. At least 13 people died and many more injured as a result of a faulty ignition switch installed in 2.6 million GM cars. That was the sound around mid-Michigan last night as everyone celebrated Independence Day. That was a shot from Ojibwe Island's big fireworks show last night in Saginaw. Here's what some of you had to say about the light show.
Saginaw just kicks butt on the 4th of July. They kick butt.
Everybody getting together and celebrating Independence Day and everybody fighting for our country, and I really enjoy it.
This is real America, okay? And we all get together, we play good sports, and we're all terrific people. Every black, white, and brown.
When you're born and raised in Saginaw, Saginaw's the best.
The fireworks shows like the one last night wouldn't be possible without helping hands and dedication. TV5's Gino Vici had the opportunity to speak with a man that's been a part of the show for the past decade.
When the fireworks were going.
And if you missed last night's show, don't worry, the biggest and brightest is still yet to come. The grand finale of the Bay City Fireworks Festival will be held tonight. More than 100,000 people are expected along the Saginaw River for the celebration.
They seem like they're different every year, so, it's really exciting to see all the people get excited and come from all around, and Bay City just kind of lights up.
The Midway opens at noon. Fireworks kick off around 10:05, and we want to hear from you. What are you enjoying most about your 4th of July weekend? Sound off on our Facebook page. Tweet us at #4th of July, and some of you have already started to weigh in. Thomas C. says knowing that he doesn't have to go to work for a weekend. Judy Cooper says a beautiful bike ride north. Keep those comments coming. We love to hear from you. And all weekend, the U.S. will celebrate Independence Day, Brian.
That's right, and what's a celebration after all without some great music? Thousands of people gathered for awesome tunes at the annual Capitol 4th concert on the west lawn of the Capitol building. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Always beautiful. And here's a sample of some of that concert. Performers included Patti LaBelle, Frankie Valli, Michael McDonald, George Sparks, even Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy joined in. They had some of everybody there, didn't they?
Great.
Something for everybody.
Yeah, a little bit of something, definitely.
Wow, look at that crowd.
Yeah.
Would you have loved to have been there?
Yeah, I think so. Looks like a good time. You know, you get the different kinds of music, a little, I guess, comedy from, I guess, Kermit and Miss Piggy. Maybe they sang, I don't know.
They probably did.
Maybe he sang It's Not Easy Being Green. I don't know. That was his favorite song.
Okay. All right, thanks. WNEM TV5 News Time is 8:09. The hunt continues for a pack of wild dogs. Why police still need your help to track them down. And Hillary Clinton is under fire again. This time it involves her speaking fees, why students at one university are demanding a refund. And now that it's summer, it's time to take out that grill and barbecue. But before you fix your plate, we'll tell you why it may be costing you even more.